Welcome back to Tide Sports. Thank you. Thank you, Tide fans. Welcome back to Tide Sports. I tell you what, we got a real good one coming up this weekend. The Gamecocks of South Carolina is coming down to Bryant-Denny Stadium. And hopefully they'll let us redeem ourselves based on what everybody's been talking about. I posted a meme. It says, Alabama fans, like you said, like Crimson Tide doesn't always lose, but when we do, we never stop hearing about it. And that is so true. I have heard so much about that game that I'm really ready to move on to the next game to get these haters up out of our face. Well, the University of South Carolina is coming in. They're not doing, very great. 3-2. They got wins against Old Dominion. They beat Kentucky, which shocked everybody, 31-6. I don't know what was going on with Kentucky that day. They lost a close one to Kentucky, 36-33. I think their quarterback was in and out of that game. I can't remember. They won against Akron big. Did what an SEC team is supposed to, if we can still make comments like that. And, of course, Ole Miss was coming off a tough loss, so they did everything they could to put USC, I say the real USC, back in their proverbial place as a cellar dweller. But will that be the case come tomorrow? 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern time. Number 7 Alabama welcomes the South Carolina Gamecocks. What are we looking at, folks? What are we looking at when it comes to the Gamecocks? You're looking at, I won't say Cam Newton a lot, but this guy's a sophomore, redshirt freshman sophomore. But what they want him to do is to turn into a Cam Newton. He ain't nowhere near that now. But does he have a potential? I don't want to see him next year. And I sure don't want to see him 3 years from now. But today, he does pretty well for their team. His name is Sellers. I think it's Brad Sellers, or it's Brad Sellers somebody I used to work with. No, Lenore Sellers. Let's see. He's about not a lot, 57% completion, but he runs the ball as well. He's a true dual threat. And I'll just go to my keys of the game. On defense, expect more of the same that you saw from Vandy. I really expect somehow Beamer has them kind of doing a hurry up, so to speak. They don't take their time. So they're snapping the ball with 23 seconds left on the play clock, 19 seconds on the play clock a lot of times, unless they're in a 2-minute. I expect them to slow that down. Other than that, they run the option. They run some inside stuff. They do some counter trade stuff. Quick slants to the receivers. Not a lot of tight end play, but expect more of the same. They want to kind of mesmerize you with the candy, the window dressing, and we need to do the same thing to them. But you can expect more of that. We must force them into mistakes and turnovers. Mistakes being like penalties. They're just as horrible at penalties as we are. We are ranked 99th, folks, of 100 and almost 40 teams in penalties. They're ranked 102. So we got to control. We probably were, the Vandy game probably brought us up some, but we're ranked 99th in the fewest penalties. A lot of improvements need to be made there. I mean, I really want us to get in the top 50 at least before Mercer, because that's pretty bad. They run a offense that's run heavy. They got a big back, man. Sanders, number 5, is 225, 235 pounds. He's a load. And Raheem Sanders, 315 yards on the year. Their main receiver only has 200. They kind of spread the ball around a little bit. But like I said, Lenore Sellers, they're building on their future. This is not a case of Diego Pavia. You just never know, him and his brother's going to fall through. This is not the case of Diego Pavia. Pavia, no fear, fearless, very mature and experienced quarterback. Lenore Sellers could get there next year. He's not there right now. They can be forced into a lot of mistakes, and their backup is actually a guy that Alabama played against, Robbie Ashford, who, if something happens, that's who they will go to, and it's pretty much going to be more of the same. I just don't think that Robbie Ashford is – I don't think he's a better passer than Lenore's. That's why he probably lost the starting job over there. But he's one of their keys. They want to establish their running game. They really want to use that to open up their pass. They want their quarterback consistency has been a problem. He has a problem making accurate passes and extending plays. So when you go back to our key, the first one being that we want to expect more of the same as Vandy. The next one, we want to force turnovers, mistakes, and penalties. And in an effort to assist with that, we got to keep smoking the box. I mean, showing a 6-man front and not being willing to flex 5 to 7 people through there right before they snap the ball because people are going to get tired, whatever. I think it just helps. Show the run blitz, show straight up zone, show a zone blitz. Just make sure you keep mixing it up because he's an inexperienced quarterback. He don't know to read the knuckles of the quarterback, of the defensive ends, so to speak. There's some keys where people are just coming. A guy that leans in, but he never looks back to see who's standing behind him. If he looks back to see who's behind him, he's probably doing that because he's going to back up if you don't see him having a conversation with somebody. So a lot of these things he may not be able to pick up on, sending the blitz to the blind side, just being ready. Their wide receivers are having problems creating separation. And they do not incorporate their tight end, but that's something they want to work on so they can take advantage of mismatches. And with our linebackers, while I love them to death, we know, as we've seen, they have been known to lose a tight end or two every once in a while. So we want to stay away from that. Like I say, big plays down the field. That's a lot of it's going to depend upon our offense. Our offensive clues right now, we got to dominate time possession. I think this goes for the rest of the year. As I said, if we have time possession where we are letting people just take over the clock, put it in their back pocket, and just we good with them having 40 minutes, we're going to lose 2 of the next 4 games. And the thing is, I don't know who it would be to. Like I said, this is a mini Vandy offense coming at us. And I'll tell you, at quarterback, they had more experience at Vandy. You have more athleticism here. Vandy didn't. Their leading receivers, Will Stores, yeah. Their leading receiver and probably best person on the outskirts was a tight end. That is not the case with South Carolina. You got track speed, kind of out there. They don't catch that well. They do better when you make a mistake. Go ask LSU. You make a mistake, fall down, they catch it, they're gone. So we have to control the time possession. Can't get them a whole bunch of opportunities. Also, the offense has to be prepared for the blitz. I watched them; they're pretty typical. On the third down, they coming, but 3rd and long, 3rd and 6, they're gonna bring a blitz. But which blitz are they gonna bring? Are we prepared to pick it up? Are we gonna have miscues? Miscue against Vandy costs us a turnover. Somebody would think one of the running backs went this way. Jaden missed the thing, missed the block going out, or somebody missed the block going out. And next thing you know, my quarterback's getting blindsided and the ball's coming out. Don't like that. So you got to be mindful. Jaden's going to have to pick up on that blitz. He's going to need help picking up on that blitz. Call it out. Communicate, talk. And my third key for the offense is you got to suppress the penalties. Suppress the penalties. Just suppress the penalties. And it's something about this game that's an overriding thing. I saw it in almost every game. And sometimes a couple times in some of the games with South Carolina as I watch the game. Not breaking down film, but I watched it. It just sticks out to you. It stands out. Remember who this is. Remember who Coach Beamer's dad is. Y'all remember Beamer Ball? Beamer Ball is alive and well. That special team, they're going to make a play. I mean, they signed a guy. It was so beautiful. I was so beautiful. I can't remember what game it was. They signed this guy to scholarship one day. They say he got up to 20-something. It was funny. Coach Beamer said he got up to 20-something miles an hour. They want to congratulate him on getting up to that kind of speed the other day. He's a linebacker, and you need to get use that speed to get over to the financial aid office because you just got to get your refund back from all the money you paid to go to school. They put him on scholarship. Wonderful story. Next day, he blocks a punt. Come on, man. The next day, he blocks a punt. Talking about earning your keep. So we got to be very cognizant of that. Like I said, they're leading receivers. They don't have a lot there. They have a few touchdowns where they kind of spread around the offense. Nobody's really sticking out right now. But you guys stay on your toes. And that Beamer Ball is alive and well in every game, whether it's a block punt, could be special teams. As far as they're going to be, that special teams coach is going to be looking at all aspects of our special team units. And they're looking for a weakness. Should we go for the 3-point blocks? Because see, sometimes in kickoffs, on a field goal, you look different from 30 yards. You look from 55 yards. Sometimes the wind up or the snap is different. The placement of the ball is different. They break that film down and they make it happen. It could be a punt from the end zone may be a great opportunity. A punt from the 50-yard line may be a great opportunity because I don't take my time because I want to pinpoint this thing. So we have to make sure that we are aware who we playing with, because does anybody expect a big blowout in this game? 27-3 is the score that Ole Miss got against South Carolina. We should be able to do that. But if we do the same things we've been doing the last 6 quarters, it's not saying it's going to be blowout city for the University of Alabama. I'm not going to lie to nobody. Should we win this game? Yeah. But what are we favored by? I'll find that in a second. Injury update. We have one of our linebackers, Pierre, is out. But we have to make sure that we rotate so many people. So Pierre didn't play a whole bunch of snaps, but he was getting in the game. Hopefully we have somebody, some depth that will help us, cover all the assignments that need to be covered. Like I said, just like Vandy, they going left, right, up, and back. And somebody got to be on them, and they have to make a tackle. But you get tired of doing that, especially if you don't have time possession on your side. As far as our other injuries, kind of one when I thought about the offense, like that game. I mean, going into that game, it's very clear they're trying to score. Alabama's trying to score 50 points. And I think last week, not having Kobe Prentice has been out for a minute, or Kendrick Law, they're both questionable for tomorrow. But not having all the receivers, able to run 20 and 30-yard routes and having to shorten the routes up, because I guess that's their way of wearing the defense down. I wouldn't choose that particular tack. I would just use Justice. I would use Justin. Jam and Justice. I would just do it that way. They just beat them down. Just beat them down. You got the bigger line. You got the bigger backs that can go fast. Run the ball. Control the time possession. Now, if you can do that with some Tom Brady 5 to 7 yard passing game, more power to you. Just run the clock, man. Let's get in here, get out, and let's get ready for Tennessee or whoever we got coming next, because it's a lot of football to be played this year for this team. And we have to be mindful that that we got to put something away for another rainy day. I wouldn't say for a rainy day, but it's been rainy enough. Let me pull up this game here. Alabama, yes, 21-point favorite, but I got my sheet down here. I got notes over here. But the defense for South Carolina, that's why I think we definitely can take advantage. They have some key players on their defense, but nobody really sticks out. What sticks out to me for their defense is that they are active and they have a little more experience. Probably not as much as probably more experienced than Vandy's defense. And that was the thing that was disappointing. Their experience to me was in the offensive line and Pavia and these people. But on the defense, I mean, we should have dominated these guys. We should have folded them up and just balled them up and just threw them away. But I'm looking forward to a decent game. I think I should be able to get on and go live by the second quarter. Sometime during the second quarter, I'll go live and sit there and watch it with you. So no need to sit there in, in Baby Net, Alabama or Coleman, Alabama. Join me here on Tight Sports. I will be here. At another note, on Mondays where I have Around the Herd, I'm going to have to move that time because I just say somebody in my house wants to be a basketball star. So instead of kicking off at 6:30, we will do Around the Herd at 7:30 going forward, and hopefully, get out of there right when Monday Night Football is kicking off, 8:30, sometimes 8:45. We'll see how it goes. But my score for this game, I'm trying to shake off the depression of last week. But my score for this game, if I had to call it, I think Alabama can win this game. Definitely 30. They're not going to cover. I just don't think they're going to cover. I mean, I would say this team is going to get mad and emotional and just fire off, but hopefully he don't have them fired. We got to keep things even keeled. If they get fired up, start running the ball, man. Start running the ball. Let them take their anger out that way. So with that, I do think Alabama wins this game, maybe 35-17. Kind of going away. It won't be that close, but I just don't think they're just trying to. Hopefully, I got my fingers crossed that Deboer and Sheridan and Womack can come together and master complementary football. And that's all I have. That's my call in the game. And I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, my apologies. But with that, let's enjoy it. And always remember, roll, tide, roll.